I'll take fries with that. There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad number 1064 to upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story. Because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. This message is specially dedicated to Tony Trent. Here's the upgrade. You may think the value is in what you grow, but upgraded thinking knows the value is in what you do with it. Here's the story. The small town of Florenceville, New Brunswick, population 1,600 in Western Canada, just north of the state of Maine in the U.S., is the French fry capital of the world. In 1956, four brothers saw local farmers sending their potatoes to a Maine manufacturing plant, turning them into frozen French fries, and then the farmers would buy them back from the processing plant to sell. The McCain family had been in Florenceville since 1820 and did not like local farmers having to buy back their own product. Today, McCain Foods is still operating in Florenceville and 160 other countries, employing 20,000 people, producing 1 million potatoes an hour. 1 in 3 French fries that people eat are from a McCain potato field. Farmers buying back their own potatoes was absurd to the McCains. The value was between the raw material and the finished work. Value lives in the next step, not the thing in your hand. Refuse to let somebody else do the most valuable part of the work. The McCains had one single-minded purpose: keep the value at home. Here's the thing: you're doing this in your own life right now. There's something you have, a skill, an idea, a relationship, a moment of time, and you're shipping it off to somebody else and buying it back at a markup. You're growing the potato and letting the other guy make the fry. Here's some examples of how this plays out. It's the person who scrolls TikTok for 2 hours every night versus the person who spends that same attention learning a skill, reading, or building something. Same raw material, radically different finished product. You're letting the algorithm fry your potatoes. It's the person watching a sport versus coaching your kid in it. Same hours, same passion, but one ships the attention to ESPN and one keeps it at home. There are people consuming other people's podcasts versus starting your own. It's the hours you spend commuting, vegging out, versus hours spent listening to something that compounds. Books, mentors, your own thinking. It's the expert who answers questions in direct messages and Slack threads all day for free versus one who writes the book, makes the course, builds the framework. Same expertise, one is buying it back from the marketplace, the other built the plant. The value isn't in the raw material. The value is in what you do with it. Harrison McCain and his brothers didn't have a better potato than the farmer next door. He had the willingness to do the next step himself. The better story to tell yourself is, I'm going to do the part where the value is. Shane Parrish at Farnham Street tells this story beautifully on his Outlier series. You can find it if you do a search for Harrison McCain Outliers. Tell me a story of a time you stopped letting somebody else turn your raw material into the finished product to fromchadsmith@gmail.com. Send someone a text and ask them, what's something you're growing that someone else is profiting from? You can get a free copy of my book, The Most Powerful Story in the World, by going to fromchad.gumroad.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at www.fromchad.com.